Alright, today I was going to tell you a little bit about my setup that I use when we do DJ parties or karaoke parties, what have you. Today I was going to look at my setup here that I got with my rack case. It's got my mixing board in it. It has power conditioner, dual 15 band EQ, sonic ultramizer, and then of course your QSC power amp powers the whole thing. And this is my smaller setup that I use, but it really does good overall as far as most parties. You can get a lot of sound out of it. My other setup I just got was the Hercules RMX 2 controller, and I use it with my virtual DJ Pro software. It works a whole lot better than just trying to use your mouse on the screen without having to use the controller. It makes transitioning into different songs a whole lot smoother, especially for weddings. You really don't want to mess up doing weddings trying to use your mouse, so this controller is excellent. Love it. Also bought the Odyssey RMX case to hold the controller, and it has the nice little laptop slide, as you can see. Okay, so one problem that I had after I got the virtual DJ software and then added the controller here was the CPU response on my laptop. It was an older laptop, a little bit cheaper. As you can see, this little bar here says CPU, if it'll focus. Staying down here close to the bottom, which is great. My other laptop, it stayed all the way up in the red, and it would make my controls lag when I tried to use my controller. I would move it to the right or to the left, and then after a couple seconds the slide would actually move on the screen. It was aggravating, so I ended up having to upgrade to a new laptop, which I got Toshiba Satellite with an Intel Core i7 processor, and it made all the difference in the world. There is no lag time anymore, so I guess it was a necessary upgrade, but I like it. Now, as far as the hookups, I'm running my laptop with my virtual DJ, and also on my karaoke I run Show Presenter, and then I have an external monitor for my karaoke screen to sing off of. Okay, so now I have two softwares running on my computer. So the virtual DJ will go through this RMX. It has its own built-in sound card. So I have to run my RMX controller over to my mixing board. Okay, now if I have my show presenter running, what I found was I was going to have to come out of my headphone out and either go to a separate input on my mixing board, or what I did was in the back of this RMX, I don't know if we can see it here, you have two inputs. Here's one for the right channel, and here's another one for the left side. So what I did was I run from my headphone out into the right channel on the back of the RMX. And to access this, you just hit this source button, and it goes from your virtual DJ. If I can pull it up here. When you're playing a track on your virtual DJ right side, if this button is not lit up, the sound and the song will come through this side of your controller. Okay. Now if I want to go to Show Presenter, I hit this source button, and when I play my karaoke tracks, the sound, you can control it with this side of the controller, and then the sound goes through and comes out where I only have to use one input in my mixing board. And so with the controls and faders on this, most of the time I leave my faders set at the 0 point. On my mixing board I don't really have to touch it. You know, I still got my mic controls here. I'll fade them up and down depending on how loud the people sing in the microphones. And then this button here with this input, auxiliary in, this actual controls the main volume also. Okay, if we want to take a look in the back, we can see this. My main outs from the RMX I got running through a RCA cable. It goes left and right input on my mixing board. And then I also have, of course, the headphone out from my laptop going into the right input channel on the RMX. This here is if you want to run like monitor speakers. I have a little adapter set up for some cheap speakers I've been using, but if you get some powered monitors, you can run them out, set them up on each side of your DJ table, and have your monitors running back at you through those through these outputs. I also use a portable hard drive. Toshiba. It's a 1 terabyte hard drive. Has all my songs and karaoke and DJ songs on it, and I just run it to the USB. This has a 3.0 port on it, and then my VGA out to my external screen. Now my mixing board, I have all my signals running in, so now I'm going to go for my left and right channel output main, and then it's going to come down and go into my sonic ultramizer. It's kind of a bunch of wires, you can't really tell, but then from the ultramizer it comes out into my EQ, and then from my EQ down to my left and right channel of my amp. Then of course you have your speaker cables running to your left and right speaker. So this is the kind of the setup that I use most of the time. This is a brand new setup with the RMX controller, but I really like it. Gives it a lot more versatility and easier to control, especially when you're dealing with having to do certain songs at certain times, and the Virtual DJ Pro is excellent for this. Also, what I just purchased was a rack case from MCM Electronics, and I bought 4 slide out drawers. It's kind of hard to tell, it's a little dark, but I use these for my laptop, and I got a spare laptop just in case something happens with the one I'm currently using. And then I have spare hard drives, which these are desktop hard drives, but they'll get me through if my portable one goes down. I just pull one of these and pull the other laptop, whatever I need, and keep running. I always have to have a backup. So this is pretty much my setup that I use for the most part. And I have, of course, tons of other DJ equipment. Huge rack over in the corner. It's about 300 pounds. Got 3 amps, 2 EQs. It's a lot of stuff that I use for bigger parties and whatnot.